The 1886 no-mint mark $1 coin, more commonly recognized as the 1886 Morgan silver dollar from the Philadelphia Mint, is one of the most historically significant and collectible pieces in American numismatics, combining the artistry of its design, the richness of its silver content, and the fascinating story of its role in U.S. monetary history. And while common in lower grades due to its large mintage, pristine mint state examples can achieve a market value of around $1,500, making it a true treasure for collectors and investors alike. This coin belongs to the legendary Morgan dollar series, which was minted between 1878 and 1904 and then briefly revived in 1921, named after its designer George T. Morgan, who was a talented engraver from the Royal Mint in London before being hired by the U.S. Mint. The obverse of the coin showcases the profile of Lady Liberty, not in the neoclassical Greek style typical of earlier designs, but modeled after an American schoolteacher named Anna Willis Williams, giving the Liberty a distinctly American identity that was revolutionary for the era. Liberty is shown wearing a Phrygian cap, a crown of cotton and wheat symbolizing the agricultural strength of the nation, and the word liberty boldly displayed on her headband. The reverse features a majestic American bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the duality of war and peace, surrounded by a wreath and the motto, "In God We Trust." Above the eagle is the inscription, "United States of America," and below it, the denomination $1. What sets the 1886 no-mint mark Morgan dollar apart from other issues is its place of mintage. Philadelphia, the mother mint of the U.S., which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins at that time. While over 19 million 1886 dollars were struck in Philadelphia, making it a high mintage coin, its true value lies not in its absolute rarity, but in the condition rarity that emerges when one considers the challenges of finding a coin that has survived for nearly 140 years in flawless mint state condition. Circulated coins are relatively affordable, often valued just slightly above silver melt, but coins graded MS65, MS66, or higher become highly desirable, with values climbing sharply. And the finest examples graded MS67 or MS68 can reach or exceed $1,500, especially when certified by top-tier grading services like PCGS or NGC. This dramatic increase in value is due to the Sheldon grading scale, where small differences at the upper end of the scale represent significant jumps in quality and rarity. The Philadelphia Mint, while producing a high volume of coins, did not always strike them to the same sharp standards as branch mints like San Francisco, and bag marks or weak strikes are common in the series, making sharply struck, lustrous examples with minimal marks scarce and coveted by advanced collectors. The 1886 Morgan dollar also carries historical weight, minted during the height of the Silver Rush era, influenced by the Bland Allison Act of 1878 and later the Sherman Silver Purchase Act, which required the U.S. Treasury to purchase and coin massive amounts of silver to support Western mining interests and stabilize the economy. As a result, millions of Morgan dollars, including the 1886 issue, were struck and stored in Treasury vaults for decades, with many eventually released in the 20th century, often through government sales like the famous GSA hoard, though Philadelphia issues were less represented in those hoards compared to Carson City dollars. The coin's silver composition, 90% silver and 10% copper, also contributes to its appeal. With a weight of 26.73 grams and a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, giving it both intrinsic bullion value and collectible value. Collectors today appreciate the Morgan dollar as one of the most beautiful and iconic American coins ever produced. And the 1886 no-mint mark issue holds a special place due to its combination of accessibility and potential high-end rarity. Many collectors start their Morgan dollar journey with common dates like the 1886, only to realize that high-grade coins are far scarcer than the mintage suggests, leading them to pursue certified examples for their collections. Auction records show that top-graded 1886 Philadelphia Morgans consistently fetch thousands of dollars, reinforcing the notion that condition is king in numismatics. Error varieties also exist for the 1886 Morgan dollar, such as die cracks, repunched mint marks on other mint issues, or doubled dies. And while Philadelphia coins lack a mint mark, other die-related anomalies can still enhance value. The presence of frosty luster, proof-like surfaces, or deep mirror proof-like DMPL finishes can also dramatically increase a coin's desirability and market price, with collectors paying premiums for coins with eye-catching visual appeal. The cultural significance of the Morgan dollar cannot be overstated, as it circulated widely in the western United States, becoming a symbol of frontier commerce, saloons, and casinos, even while many were stored in treasury vaults in the East. For Americans of the 19th and early 20th centuries, the silver dollar was more than currency. It was a statement of national pride and economic independence, and the 1886 issue is a tangible link to that period of history. From a numismatic perspective, the coin also reflects the artistry of George T. Morgan, whose design was groundbreaking for portraying liberty as an American woman rather than borrowing European classical ideals, thereby giving the coin a unique national identity. For investors, the 1886 no-mint mark Morgan dollar represents both a store of silver value and a collectible asset with strong market demand, particularly in high grades where rarity drives price appreciation. As time passes, the number of pristine examples continues to dwindle, making the surviving top-condition coins increasingly valuable. Collectors who own an MS-66 or MS-67 example hold a piece of history and art that is also a significant financial asset, with values that can climb to $1,500 or more depending on market trends. The enduring popularity of the Morgan dollar series ensures that the 1886 issue will always be in demand, whether by beginners seeking an affordable entry point or advanced collectors striving for the highest quality. Its blend of high mintage yet scarce condition rarity, historical context tied to America's silver boom, iconic design, and intrinsic silver content all contribute to its status as a numismatic treasure. The 1886 no-mint mark $1 coin is not just a relic of the past. It is a continuing story of American history, artistry, and economic ambition, and it reminds us that even coins struck in large numbers can become valuable and rare when preserved in superb condition. Whether admired for its beauty, studied for its history, or cherished as an investment, the 1886 Morgan silver dollar from Philadelphia stands as a timeless symbol of American coinage, one that transforms a piece of silver into a collectible masterpiece worth as much as $1,500 in today's numismatic marketplace, and its legacy will continue to captivate collectors for generations to come. Next up, the 1883 no-mint mark $1 coin, popularly known as part of the Morgan silver dollar series, holds a special place in the world of numismatics because of its rich historical background, unique features, and strong collector demand that continues to elevate its market value today. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1883, this coin bears no mint mark, a clear indication of its origin, since Philadelphia coins from this era traditionally lacked a mint mark. Composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, the 1883 Morgan dollar carries a weight of 26.73 grams with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, giving it both a substantial size and intrinsic precious metal value that collectors and investors alike admire. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Lady Liberty designed by George T. Morgan, with her classical profile facing left, adorned with a Phrygian cap, a crown of cotton and wheat symbolizing America's agricultural strength, and finely detailed hair strands that emphasize Morgan's artistry. Around the obverse rim, the word E pluribus unum is inscribed along with 13 stars representing the original colonies, and the date 1883 appears prominently at the bottom. The reverse displays the striking heraldic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by a wreath and the motto, "In God We Trust," above its head, with United States of America and $1 encircling the design. This detailed and symbolic imagery gives the coin a timeless patriotic appeal, making it one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage history. From a historical perspective, the Morgan silver dollar was minted during a time when the U.S. government was heavily involved in silver coinage due to the Bland-Allison Act of 1878, which required the Treasury to purchase large amounts of silver to be coined into dollars. The 1883 issue is part of this broader context of monetary policy, economic expansion, and America's growing reliance on silver mined from western states such as Nevada. While millions of Morgan dollars were minted across various U.S. mints in 1883, including Carson City, San Francisco, and New Orleans, the Philadelphia no-mint mark issue remains a standout because of its historical importance as the original mint facility of the United States and the consistent demand among collectors for Philadelphia-struck coins. In terms of rarity, the 1883 no-mint mark Morgan dollar is considered relatively common in circulated grades, but becomes significantly rarer and more valuable in uncirculated or gem conditions. Many of these coins went into storage in treasury vaults and were later released decades later. But surviving examples in pristine condition are far scarcer than circulated ones, which elevates their desirability at auctions and in private sales. Numismatists pay close attention to details such as luster, strike sharpness, surface preservation, and eye appeal when grading these coins. And higher-graded specimens certified by professional grading services like NGC or PCGS can fetch impressive sums in today's market. Die varieties and errors can also increase the value dramatically, with collectors seeking out examples with doubled dies, die cracks, or unusual strike patterns that make the coin stand out as unique within the series. Market demand for the 1883 no-mint mark Morgan dollar has remained strong over decades because it appeals to both casual collectors seeking a classic silver dollar and serious investors looking for a store of value in rare coins. The coin's silver content alone gives it intrinsic value, but it is the combination of history, artistry, and condition rarity that pushes its collectible worth to much higher levels. Currently, the market value of an 1883 no-mint mark $1 coin in average, circulated condition hovers around modest levels due to the relatively high mintage. But uncirculated examples with sharp details and minimal marks can command premiums. Particularly, coins graded MS-65 and above can reach well into the thousands of dollars. On today's numismatic market, an exceptional quality 1883 no-mint mark $1 coin can sell for as much as $1,800, especially when preserved in gem condition with original luster and certified by a top grading service. Auction records have shown consistent interest in these coins, with collectors willing to pay strong prices for attractive, problem-free examples. This makes the 1883 Morgan not only a beautiful collectible, but also a wise investment for those who understand the dynamics of rarity and demand in the coin market. Beyond its monetary worth, the coin tells a story of America's growth in the late 19th century. When the nation was expanding westward, industries were booming, and silver played a crucial role in economic debates about bimetallism and monetary policy. Holding such a coin is like holding a piece of that history in your hand, connecting you to the era of railroads, frontier life, and rapid industrialization. For collectors, this connection to history adds another intangible layer of value that cannot be measured solely in dollars. Furthermore, the 1883 no-mint mark $1 is a favorite among those building complete Morgan dollar sets. Since every date and mint combination is needed to complete the series, and Philadelphia issues always form a cornerstone of such collections. When combined with its silver content, its design beauty, and its collectability, the coin's overall appeal becomes undeniable. Today, the 1883 no-mint mark Morgan dollar continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. And with a market value that can reach $1,800 in top condition, it stands as a testament to the enduring fascination with America's silver dollar heritage. Anyone fortunate enough to own one of these coins in pristine state holds not just a valuable asset, but also a timeless piece of American history that will only grow more desirable as the years pass, making it a prized possession for generations of collectors and investors alike. Next up, the 1887 no-mint mark $1 coin, part of the legendary Morgan Silver Dollar series, is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that continues to draw attention from collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts worldwide due to its timeless design. historical significance, and enduring market value that today can reach as high as $100 for well-preserved examples. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1887, this particular issue carries no mint mark, which was customary for coins minted at the nation's first and primary minting facility. Designed by the talented engraver George T. Morgan, after whom the entire Morgan dollar series is named, the coin is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, with a standard weight of 26.73 grams and a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, making it a substantial coin in both size and intrinsic metal content. On the obverse, Morgan created an allegorical portrait of Lady Liberty in classical style. Facing left, adorned with a Phrygian cap, a crown of cotton and wheat symbolizing agricultural strength, and intricately detailed hair that shows the engraver's skill. Surrounding Liberty are the words E pluribus unum, 13 stars representing the original colonies, and the date 1887 at the bottom. The reverse is equally striking, depicting a majestic bald eagle with wings outstretched, clutching arrows and an olive branch to symbolize America's readiness for war, yet preference for peace, encircled by a wreath with the motto, "In God We Trust Above," and the inscriptions, United States of America and $1. This artistry gives the coin not only monetary value, but also aesthetic and cultural significance. Historically, the Morgan dollar was minted during an era shaped by the Bland-Allison Act of 1878, which required the U.S. Treasury to purchase large amounts of silver from Western mines and turn it into silver dollars, partly to support silver miners and partly to increase the money supply in circulation. The 1887 Philadelphia issue reflects this policy-driven production. With millions struck, but like many Morgan dollars, survival rates in high grades are far smaller than the original mintage would suggest. Many coins were stored in vaults for decades, while others were circulated heavily, acquiring wear, scratches, and contact marks that lowered their collectible value. As a result, today the 1887 no mint mark $1 is considered relatively available in worn or circulated grades, but significantly scarcer and more valuable in uncirculated or gem mint states. The rarity and desirability increase dramatically when the coin is certified by leading grading companies such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, especially when given grades of MS65 or higher, which guarantee superb luster, sharp strikes, and minimal handling marks. Beyond condition, varieties and errors also add to the intrigue of this issue. For example, collectors seek out VAM varieties, a catalog system for Morgan dollar die varieties named after Van Allen and Malus, which may show doubled dies, repunched dates, or unusual die cracks. These varieties transform a common date into a highly desirable rarity, pushing auction prices far beyond standard levels. From a market perspective, the 1887 no mint mark Morgan dollar maintains strong demand because it bridges the gap between accessibility and value. While it is not among the absolute rarest dates of the Morgan dollar series, it remains a cornerstone for collectors building complete date and mint mark sets, as every Philadelphia issue is a necessary component of a full collection. Furthermore, the coin's historical role as part of the late 19th century silver dollar output gives it an added layer of significance, connecting it to the economic and political debates of the time, such as the gold versus silver standard and America's westward expansion. The intrinsic silver value alone provides a base worth, but the numismatic premium based on condition, rarity, and collector demand elevates the coin's price substantially above its melt value. Today, in the numismatic marketplace, circulated examples of the 1887 no mint mark dollar might trade at modest premiums, but uncirculated examples, especially those with exceptional luster and eye appeal, can command strong prices. In fact, top-quality specimens graded MS65 or above often sell for up to $100, demonstrating how condition directly drives market value. Auction records have repeatedly shown collectors bidding aggressively for gem examples, reflecting both the enduring appeal of Morgan dollars and the continued recognition of the 1887 issue as a desirable piece of numismatic history. For investors, the 1887 Morgan dollar also provides a hedge of stability, since silver content ensures intrinsic worth while collector demand provides upside potential. For enthusiasts, however, the value goes far beyond money. Owning such a coin is like holding a tangible artifact of America's Gilded Age, an era of industrial expansion, railroad growth, and social transformation. Each coin has its own story, having survived circulation, storage, and rediscovery in government releases during the mid-20th century when bags of silver dollars were finally distributed to the public. This journey adds to the mystique of the series and makes collecting them a pursuit that combines history, artistry, and economics. The 1887 No Mint Mark I dollar is also frequently included in educational discussions about American coinage because it represents not only a beautiful design, but also the broader themes of monetary history, including the struggle of farmers and miners for free silver, the controversies around inflation and deflation, and the symbolic importance of silver in American identity during the late 1800s. For modern collectors, completing a set of Morgan dollars is a challenge that requires acquiring Philadelphia, New Orleans, San Francisco, Carson City, and Denver issues across a span of years, and the 1887 Philadelphia issue is indispensable in this pursuit. Its relative availability compared to certain rarities like the 1893 S or 1889 CC makes it achievable, but its value in gem condition, reaching up to 1/100, ensures that it remains prized and respected. Ultimately, the 1887 No Mint Mark I coin embodies the perfect balance of beauty, history, collectability, and financial value. It is a coin that tells the story of its time while continuing to reward those who preserve it for future generations, making it not just a collectible, but a legacy piece that bridges the past and the present. Next up, the 1879 No Mint Mark I coin, known widely as the 1879 Morgan silver dollar minted at the Philadelphia Mint, stands as one of the most historically fascinating and numismatically treasured coins in U.S. coinage. Representing the second year of issue in the iconic Morgan dollar series and embodying a perfect blend of artistry, history, and collector value, with pristine high-grade examples commanding a market value of around $1,400 or more in today's numismatic marketplace, making it a highly desirable acquisition for both collectors and investors alike. The Morgan dollar series, introduced in 1878 and running until 1904, then briefly revived in 1921, is named after its designer, George T. Morgan, an engraver originally from England who created one of the most beloved designs in U.S. coinage history. On the obverse of the 1879 Morgan dollar, liberty is depicted not in the traditional Greco-Roman style that had defined earlier depictions of liberty, but rather as a distinctly American woman modeled after Anna Willis Williams, a Philadelphia schoolteacher whose profile was chosen by Morgan to represent liberty's natural beauty and the American spirit. Liberty wears a Phrygian cap adorned with agricultural symbols of cotton and wheat, symbolizing the unity of North and South and the strength of American agriculture, with the word liberty inscribed boldly on her headband. Surrounding her portrait are 13 stars representing the original colonies, along with the inscriptions E pluribus unum and the date 1879. The reverse design is equally striking, featuring a heraldic bald eagle with wings fully spread, clutching arrows and an olive branch in its talons to symbolize readiness for both war and peace, encircled by a wreath. The motto, In God We Trust, and the legends, United States of America and $1. As a Philadelphia Mint coin, the 1879 Morgan dollar carries no mint mark, which is itself a point of identification and distinction for collectors. And while the Philadelphia Mint struck over 14 million examples of this issue, survival in top condition is far scarcer than the raw mintage suggests. Most coins were heavily used in commerce or stored in government vaults for decades, where they acquired bag marks, abrasions, and wear that limited the number of pristine survivors. For this reason, while circulated 1879 Morgan dollars are relatively affordable and often valued only slightly above their silver content, coins graded MS-65 and above are considered condition rarities and are highly sought after, with auction values frequently exceeding $1,000 and reaching around $2,400 or more for premium examples. Certified by PCGS or NGC. The coin is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 26.73 grams and measuring 38.1 millimeters in diameter, making it not only a piece of history but also a substantial silver bullion asset. Though its collector value far outweighs its melt value, the coin's historical context further enhances its allure, as the Morgan dollar was born out of the Bland-Allison Act of 1878, which required the U.S. Treasury to purchase and coin large amounts of silver, largely in response to political pressure from silver mining interests in the West, marking the beginning of an era when millions of silver dollars were struck annually, far more than were ever needed in circulation. Many of these coins, including the 1879 Philadelphia issue, were stored in treasury vaults for decades, not widely used in daily commerce in the East, but circulating more actively in the American West, where silver dollars were culturally significant, particularly in frontier towns, casinos, and saloons. Over time, many of these vault-stored coins were released through government programs, such as the famous GSA sales of the 1970s, though Philadelphia issues like the 1879 were less commonly part of those hoards compared to Carson City issues, making original high-grade survivors from Philadelphia scarcer than their mintage might suggest. Collectors today recognize the 1879 no-mint mark Morgan dollar as a cornerstone of the series, representing the early phase of the design and a critical date for those assembling complete collections. While the 1879 Philadelphia issue is not considered an absolute rarity in lower grades, its status changes dramatically in gem condition, where supply dwindles sharply, and the eye appeal of individual coins becomes a critical factor in value. Coins with strong luster, sharp strikes, and minimal bag marks are especially prized, and proof-like PL and deep mirror proof-like DMPL examples, which display reflective fields resembling proof coins, command significant premiums, often far exceeding $1,400 depending on grade. Errors and die varieties also contribute to collector interest, as minor doubling, die cracks, or unusual strike anomalies can further increase a coin's value. The artistry of George T. Morgan's design remains a central reason for the enduring popularity of this series, as his depiction of liberty as an American woman was revolutionary and broke with the neoclassical traditions of earlier U.S. coinage, giving the coin a distinctly national identity. The eagle on the reverse, rendered with bold wings and an almost lifelike presence, remains one of the most powerful symbols of American strength in coinage design. The 1879 Morgan dollar also has strong investment appeal, as the market for Morgan dollars is robust and global, with collectors from around the world seeking these coins for their historical significance, silver content, and beauty. Demand for early-date Morgans like the 1879 Philadelphia issue remains strong, particularly in certified high grades, ensuring stable long-term value growth. Auction records continue to show upward momentum for premium examples, reflecting both the scarcity of condition rarities and the ongoing enthusiasm of the numismatic community for Morgan dollars. The coin's role in American history also adds to its mystique, as it represents a period of economic transition, silver politics, and national expansion. For modern collectors, holding an 1879 no-mint mark Morgan dollar is not only owning a piece of silver, but also a tangible connection to the economic and political debates of the late 19th century. The fact that coins of this series circulated in the Old West gives them an added cultural romance, as they were the coins of saloons, miners, and pioneers. From a purely numismatic perspective, the grading scale plays a key role in determining value, with circulated examples commonly graded between very fine, VF, and extremely fine, XF, commanding modest premiums, while uncirculated examples graded MS60 to MS62 are more desirable, and gem examples MS65 or higher are rare and valuable. Certified examples in MS66 or above are considered exceptional. And these are the coins that typically achieve values around $2,400 or higher, particularly when combined with eye-catching toning or proof-like surfaces. Collectors seeking a complete Morgan dollar set often face the challenge of finding affordable examples of key dates, but the 1879 Philadelphia issue offers both accessibility for beginners and a challenge for advanced collectors who seek perfection. Its dual identity as both a common date in circulation and a condition rarity in high grades makes it one of the most versatile and interesting coins in the series. For this reason, it remains one of the most studied, traded, and admired Morgan dollars. Ultimately, the 1879 no-mint mark $1 coin is far more than a monetary object. It is a masterpiece of American coinage, a product of political compromise and artistic vision, and a valuable collectible that continues to capture the imagination of numismatists. With its strong historical context, striking design, solid silver content, and enduring collector demand, it remains a cornerstone of the Morgan dollar series. And for those fortunate enough to own a gem example certified by a leading grading service, its value can rise to around $4,400 in today's market, with the potential for continued appreciation in the future. As such, the 1879 Morgan dollar from Philadelphia stands as a shining example of how history, art, and rarity converge to create a coin that transcends its original monetary role and becomes a timeless piece of American heritage.